Because that's what they need. They're so taken in by the atmosphere around them that they would like to run away from that, but of course they're in here, they can't run away from it, so it builds up tension inside, and you need to give them quietly occupation to listen to your aids so that they quietly learn to let go of themselves. He's already sort of getting a little bit calmer now, warming to the audience, and that is the first thing to achieve with the young horse. This little bit of control without domination. This is the important thing. Young horses need to be able to express themselves and get that energy a little bit out of the system. And you shouldn't not slam on it too much to try and restrict them. At the same time, you shouldn't let them totally run loose with themselves. I'm sure you've all experienced that. If you give a horse a little bit too much freedom, they suddenly lose themselves and they actually can't control what they're putting out there, and then they end up getting into trouble. So this quiet control is important, and this little bit of transition here and there, a change of direction, a little bit of occupying from the leg, it all makes the horse to sort of get quietly under control. We find very clearly that as a horse feels the aids, as in learning to respecting the aids, it creates a lot of confidence to the aids. Horses can easily lose themselves by not knowing what the aids mean. They don't have a clear idea of what they should be doing, and that unsettles them more than anything else. So taking this quiet control in your own sort of core stability to say, now, I'm not worried, so I don't want you to be worried. And then it starts off the system of the horse coming around to listen and to starting to relax. And you can see slowly more and more that he starts to sort of think about dropping his neck, which is the first sign of him wanting to allow horses to express themselves in lots of different ways when they want to be active. And instead of stopping him or giving him a kick or anything, saying I didn't want that, Michael just quietly changed the rein and said, well, it's fine for me, I want to canter. If I canter first on that leg, then so be it, I'll canter first on that leg. We'll later canter on the other leg. That's that sort of quiet control of reminding the horse that yes, there is a certain freedom in them expressing themselves and using the exercises to take their energy out, without being sort of slammed on too much. And again, you see what an athlete he is. He canters like a feather. Of course, with an ability like that, he very easily can kick off into a nice little leapfrog as well as just cantering very light off the ground. So we need to give him this time to just sort of come and find himself, and then use the energy in the right amount, in the right place. The next thing, when you feel there's that first bit of relaxation coming, would then be to sort of quietly take charge of making very subtle differences within the gait. That you actually sort of start working a little bit between your forward aids and your contact. If you quietly can get to that, Mike, that you just start showing a little difference by moving the canter a little bit forward, and then letting it come back again, moving it a little bit forward and come back again. This sort of, first you invite the relaxation to start. When you're ready, a little bit of shape. That's it, good. You see, this was already a much smoother transition. And that is what you do with the young horses, you just let them come. You let them come to you, you guide them into the right places with the right understanding. The main thing at this moment in time is the relaxation. Because you can't work the horse very easily with more demands or new demands when they're tight and holding themselves. Yeah, so we need to get the relaxation. So start going a little bit, subtle differences, that's it. Yeah, the moment the horse gives you that feeling that he's willing to take that deep breath and relax a little bit, that's when you start riding and you start saying, now I want to go a little bit forward and I want to come back a little bit, and you start talking with your main aids. This is the half hold and the forward aids, seat and leg. That's coming more and more relaxed. Very often, of course, horses with that sort of expression in the gait, they're not exactly easy to sit to, which makes it even more important that the back stays soft. Oh, my goodness, yes. If they start all off like that, we wouldn't have a problem. Yeah, it's just, he's got phenomenal natural ability. And we concentrate very strongly now on giving him all the right basic ingredients to learn to cope with that. Because very often you find horses that have that sort of gait from nature, they very easily get themselves into trouble. Concerning the connection, concerning the regularity in the gaits, all that kind of thing becomes very easily a problem for them. Yeah? Now, Michael, if you do one more, opening up, and then after that you stretch him long and down, and you see, if you get him as low as possible in the next stretch. Let's go. Oh, now you see the rhythm stays exactly the same, he just opens up his stride. Oh, now good stretch down. The aim is now to get him lower than he actually offers to go. Yeah, and lower, and lower, and lower. We have, of course, this sort of encouragement of working the stretch. I come across very often is that sort of, horses get let out a little bit too quickly. They take one sort of stretch and then find themselves to be free, and then after that they have basically disconnected from the rein, and they're, going around more like a loose horse with a rider on. Yeah, and the actual stretching is part of the work. Horses need to learn to stretch to the rein and to the rein. This is eventually what brings the nose out. Yeah, to start with, when you ask them down, you can't very often avoid that they come a little bit behind the vertical. Yeah, but it's the effort of keeping them in the rein and then ending up making the rein longer and longer. Oh, see if you can get that nose down a bit further. Oh, that's right. You've got to constantly ask. Because the horse sort of, in his comfort zone, the muscles, the back muscles will only stretch so much. And if you know, just like yourself, if you start stretching and you're pulling on the muscles, they start aching. We're very sort of concerned at the beginning that they're really taking that little bit extra stretch, and therefore they're opening their muscles a little bit longer and a little bit longer, and suddenly the muscle has so much stretching ability that there's no more ache involved, there's no more resistance involved in opening up fully to this way and then coming back again here to carry and then going down there to stretch. It's this sort of function through the body that is the most important of keeping the muscles well and making the horse become more and more athletic. I always tell them that, the aim is to end up being a bit of dirt on the nose.